Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Inna alhamdulillahi wahdah. Assalatu wassalamu ala man la nabiyya ba'da wa ba'd. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Allahumma barik ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama barakta ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. We are discussing regarding our approach towards the worldly life. So worldly life in between praise and dispraise. So are we supposed to praise it outrightly, or we are supposed to dispraise it outrightly? Or what should be our approach to it? So as we have discussed that one group of the people, they think that it's the root of all evil, so we need to shun it, we need to give it up, we need to avoid it outrightly. We have to abandon all the worldly activities, otherwise this will distract us from achieving the specific goals. And then there is another approach which is quite based on the Quran and Sunnah, and that's what we need to learn and understand, is that the worldly life, as Imam Al-Ghazali rahimahullah says, wealth is not to be dispraised or condemned in its own right. What's blameworthy is man's bad use of this wealth, represented in culpable qualities and acts such as avarice, hoarding of wealth, showing off with it, and gaining it unlawfully. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, your riches and your children may be but a trial. This Surah Al-Taghabun, verse number 15. Innama amwalukum wa awladukum fitnah. So from this verse, we learn that it is truly a source of test. So what kind of test? Is the test to be understood that we have to leave it, we have to outrightly abandon it, or the test is that we are supposed to show our obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala while acquiring and accumulating the wealth? So Islam gives us a proper direction, a proper approach, that this, as far as the worldly wealth is concerned, we cannot say it is good or it is bad. What makes it good is a proper usage of it. What makes it bad is an improper usage of it. So it depends upon actually the wealth itself, be it the gold, the silver, or the cash, or any form of the wealth, any assets of its own, it's neither good nor bad. So what makes it good or bad is the approach of the people, which also applies to the worldly, these electronic gadgets. Mobile phone, is it good or bad? We cannot say an answer outrightly, it is good or it is bad. It depends upon the usage of a person. If a person uses properly, then it is good. If a person uses improperly, it is bad. So same applies to the wealth. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created it, as I said before, khalaqa lakum, He created it for you. So either He created to, we are supposed to accumulate it and we are supposed to take benefit of it, out of it. But at the same time, the main objective behind the wealth is that it must be used in order to serve ourselves, serve our family, serve our fellow beings, so that this becomes a source of maghfirah for us, a source of getting the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's what we have been created for, to achieve the rida of Allah, to achieve the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, our master, our creator, is pleased with us. That's main objective in our life. Why Allah created us? So that we achieve His pleasure. It's a higher station, that is maqamur rida, that Allah is pleased with us. When we leave this dunya, when we leave this world, we leave this in a state, in a way that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is pleased with us. Ya ayyatuhan nafsul mutma'inna, irji'i ila rabbika radiyatan mardiyya, fadkhuli fi ibadi, fadkhuli jannah. So we achieve that level that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says to us, oh, the pleasant soul, now you enter among my slaves, among my servants, and you enter my Jannah. So our goal has been set, our objective has been defined, that why we are here. Many of the people of the world don't know about it, why they are here. Like they are the animals, wallahi. Just eating and drinking, fulfilling all the desires of the nafs and nothing else. But surely, when they are not aware about their purpose of life, and after fulfilling all the commands of the nafs, they are fed up, they are desperate. And most of them, they try to just put an end to their life. You see that one of the main cause of suicide is that a person is not aware about his position in this world, why he is here, why Allah created him. How can he please his master, his creator, the one who brought him into existence, the one who blessed him with many things surrounded, and his blessings are surrounding him. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is one of the, I should say, one of the best blessing upon a person is aware about his own position in this world. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us this wealth, and we need to know that how we are supposed to spend this. Because firstly, we are supposed to know how to earn this wealth, and then how to spend it. As Prophet said sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam, that on the day of judgment, that ما تزال لا تزال قدم عبدي يوم القيامة حتى يسأل عن خمس. That the feet of son of Adam will not move from his place unless and until his question, he's been asked about 5 things. وعن عمره فيما أفنى, about his life, how he spent his life, how he used his life. وعن شبابه فيما أبلى, about his youth, how he spent his youth. وعن ماله, about his wealth. من أين اكتسبته, how did you earn your wealth? And the 4th question, وفيما أنفقته, how did you spend your wealth? So we are not free in order to earn the wealth. We have to see the lawful means of the wealth, as there are many unlawful means as a means of test for us. Bani Israel, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded them not to fish on Saturday. And as a means of test, Saturday, the river used to be full of fishes. They would jump up. This was a means of test for them. So they succumbed to this test. They could not stand by the test. So they devised many treacherous ways to catch the fishes on Saturday. Though they would not take them out on Saturday, then Sunday morning they would go there and take them out. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made many and unlawful ways of earning also. Why so? Because after all, we are supposed to be tested. So test will be, how do we earn? Are we lawful? Are we sincere? Many a times we may not be able to get a lot of profit. We may not be able to get a lot of wealth, because the halal means are restricted. But at the same breath, there are many opportunities for us, many avenues to make a lot of wealth. But those means will be unlawful, prohibited by Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Whoever stops here, whoever prevents himself to get involved in any prohibited activity, to earn the wealth through forbidden ways, yes, he got the success. He truly got the success. As far as the dunya is concerned, wallahi, whatever Allah has decreed for us, we are going to get it. By hook or crook, willingly or unwillingly, we have to get it. Whatever Allah has decided for us. And dunya is according to the decree of Allah, and deen according to the efforts of a person. We need to understand this very importantly. Dunya, wealth of dunya, is according to the decree of Allah. So here, though we are supposed to make our efforts, but even more and more efforts will not make it, will not increase a single penny in what Allah has decreed already for us. So dunya, or the wealth, is according to the decree of Allah. And deen, it's not according to decree, it is according to the efforts of a person. More efforts we make for deen, more rewards we get from Allah. More higher stations we get. So dunya is fixed, we can say in a way. And deen, it is quite expendable depending upon the efforts of a person. A simple example, if we have a water tank, say 1000 liter, if we just put one tap into it and then we open the tap, how much will come out? Just 1000. Whatever is inside that will come out. It is one single tap. But what if we put 2 taps or 3 taps to it? One tap here, one tap there, one tap there. Then we open all these 3 taps. How much will come out? Again, the same 1000. More we put the taps, it will not increase 1 single liter, half a liter it will not increase. Because whatever is already there, it is going to give back that much. Whether we use 1 tap or many taps. Same is case with our life of dunya, our portion from dunya. It's already decided by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Though, as I said before, we have to make efforts, but not to the level that we forget each and everything. We have to make the efforts within the limits. Not to be just crazy about it, that we forget about our akhirah, we forget our own purpose of life. We have to make efforts within the limits. Wallahi, if we put more and more efforts that we forget everything, we will not get anything. Man kana yuridu harth ad-dunya nu'tihi minha. Whoever wants the life of this dunya, the wealth of this dunya, man kana yuridu harth ad-dunya, Allah says in the Quran. Man kana yuridu harth ad-dunya nu'tihi minha. Whoever wishes the possessions of the world, nu'tihi minha, we shall give him some portion of it. وَمَا لَهُ فِي الْآخِرَةِ مِنْ خَلَاقٍ, and there is no portion for him in the Akhirah. وَمَنْ كَانَ يُرِيدُ حَرْثَ الْآخِرَةِ, whoever wishes the benefit of Akhirah, نَجِدْ لَهُ فِي حَرْثِهِ, we increase his benefit, we increase his crops. Harth actually means harth. Harth means crops. Hirs with sword, hirs means a virus, means greed. Man kana yuridu harth ad-dunya, whoever wants the crops of the dunya, the life, the things of dunya, chattels of dunya, nu'tihi minha, a portion of it we give to him. But that portion is fixative. Our more and more efforts won't increase a bit. On the other hand, وَمَنْ كَانَ يُرِيدُ حَرْثَ الْآخِرَةِ, whoever wants the crops of Akhirah, نَزِدْ لَهُ فِي حَرْثِهِ, we keep on increasing according to his efforts. So what we learn, life of dunya is based on the portion of dunya, the chattels of dunya, the possessions of dunya, the wealth of dunya is based on the decree of Allah. And as far as the deen is concerned, thawab, the reward is concerned, is according to the efforts of a person. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created all these things. We need to understand this very much. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions about Qarun. We know Qarun, he was one of the richest men among the Bani Israel. Very much rich. Allah describes us whenever he used to come to the people in high grandeur way, in a sublime and superb way, with all his possessions expressed and defined. He would come along with all his wealth and his worldly grandeur. Then the people of dunya, they would look at him, they would cry out, they would sigh, Ya laytana mithla ma utiya Qarun. We wish that we were given the wealth as that of the Qarun. You see how much fortunate he is. Innahu ladhu hazzin azim. He undoubtedly is highly fortunate. This is the approach of those people who don't know their purpose of life, who don't know that they are responsible, who are unaware that they are accountable before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for all their deeds. So their approach is, they say, Ya layta lana mithla ma utiya Qarun. We wish we were given the wealth as that of the Qarun. Innahu ladhu hazzin azim. He is truly the most fortunate person. This is one approach. Second approach is that of the true believers. They were the true followers of Musa alayhi salam. They said, Wailakum, what you are thinking. Wailakum, your thinking be perished. Wailakum, what happened to your thinking? Thawabullahi khair. The reward with Allah is better. Why? Because however wealth you achieve in this dunya, you accumulate in this dunya, at the time of death, you have to depart, you have to leave it behind. But whatever action, whatever good deeds you perform for the sake of Allah, its reward is unperishable, is eternal and everlasting. So we should focus upon the things which are enduring and everlasting, which are not going to depart from us. On the other hand, you are crazy about the things which you know yourself of your own that you have to leave it behind once you die. At the time of your death, there must be a departure from your wealth and from you. There's a time of departure. Nothing will go along with you. However, if you do good, if you prove your loyalty to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then you will see the reward of it is ever and ever forever, unlimited, everlasting and eternal. That's why they said, why lakum, what you are thinking. What happened to you? What types of barriers are upon your eyes that you cannot see the true things? You cannot see the things in the right perspective. As this dunya, the worldly life is when it is without the bounds, without the limits. And there's strong desire in a person to achieve and accumulate it. It's like it's as that of the intoxication. The strong desire for the world is like the intoxication, which makes a person to be unaware of everything. As if a person is intoxicated. And this worldly intoxication is the dangerous of all intoxications. Because it is because of this worldly intoxication, a person may go to the extent of killing other people. He's ready to play the gambling. He's ready to do each and everything. That's what here Sayyidina Ali bin Abi Talib, his statement aptly befits. What he says, Hubbud dunya ra'su kulli khati'ah. The strong, unlimited love of dunya is the root of all evil. Why people kill other people? Because of wealth. Why people are motivated to play the gambling? It is because of the wealth. Why people cheat others to have more wealth? Why people betray others to have more wealth? Hubbud dunya ra'su kulli khati'ah. The strong desire and love for dunya is the root of all evil. When a person is not having the limits, when a person does not know the proper approach with this dunya, then this dunya will immerse him into it and he will have this intoxication which he will be rid of at the time of death only. This intoxication cannot be removed from anything except by taqwa of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, by the true love of Allah. There can be only either of the two things, true love of Allah in the heart or true love of dunya. Both cannot stay together. There are two opposite poles which cannot be joined together. There are two opposite poles. So, Imam Al-Ghazali rahimahullah, he mentions this, that wealth of its own is not dispraised, rather, or condemned, rather it is our approach. It's our dealing with it. That was also why the righteous predecessors used to fear the trial of wealth. Yahya ibn Mu'adh rahimahullah said, wealth is a scorpion. If you do not intend to deal with it properly, so do not take it from the beginning, because it stings you. Its poison will kill you. Someone asked it, and how can we deal with it properly? He answered, gain it, that is wealth, by lawful means, and spend it where it should be legally spent. So if it is like a scorpion, if it is not dealt with proper care, then it will bite a person, it will sting a person, and it will kill a person. So the proper way is to earn it through lawful means and then to spend through the lawful means. This way a person is preparing himself for the Akhirah, for the two questions of the Akhirah. As I said before, Prophet ﷺ said that the feet of son of Adam will not move until he answers 5 questions. And the 2 questions will be, so we can say 40% questions will be regarding how did you earn the wealth and how did you spend the wealth. So 60% is regarding his life, his youth, and then his knowledge. وَعَنْ إِلْمِهِ مَاذَا عَمِلَ بِهِ. The 5th question will be about his knowledge, how much he practiced his knowledge. So 40% question is regarding how did you earn and how did you spend. So did you earn the lawful through lawful means? Yes, there are many people who earn through lawful means. Then they think now it belongs to them. The wealth it belongs to them. They have accumulated this wealth through lawful means. Now it's their choice, however they want to spend it. No, we are bound to see the means, the channels of earning. Then we are also responsible and accountable for the channels of spending. For both the things we shall be questioned. For both the approaches we shall be asked about. How did you earn and how did you spend? And as I said before that, as far as the wealth is concerned, there are many advantages of the wealth and there are many disadvantages of the wealth. And we have already learned that wealth is not to be dispraised in its own right, because it is a means that helps man in his worldly and religious affairs. So it's a means of support for man, as Allah Almighty states, to those weak of understanding, make not over your property, which Allah has made a means of support for you. Surah An-Nisa verse number 5. Sa'id ibn al-Musayyib rahimahullah said, there is no goodness in a person who does not gain property through lawful means in order to protect himself from the humiliation of begging people. Keep good relations with his kinship and give out its dues, that is zakah. Wealth has worldly and religious advantages. All people are aware of its worldly advantages, and that's why they are busy seeking them. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made this wealth as we can say, one of the important support for our survival. We cannot deny the fact that wealth is important for our survival. That's why there are many ahkam regarding the wealth in the Quran and Sunnah. If it were totally to be avoided, totally to be abandoned, then how come the teachings of the Quran will throw much light upon the wealth? The Prophet ﷺ, many of the hadiths has thrown the light upon the importance of the wealth, and at the same time, the utilization of the wealth. How can we utilize our wealth, our lawful wealth? So it is not advisable, it is not recommended on the part of the Sharia that a person avoid it. Rather, what Sayyid ibn al-Musayyib says, rahimahullah, there is no goodness in a person who does not gain property through lawful means in order to protect himself. Because wealth, it protects a person from many harms. It protects a person from many bad things. Like if a person is not having anything with him, then he is supposed to extend his hand towards others. So bringing humiliation to himself. That's what Prophet ﷺ said, that if a person extends his hand and he is able to earn of his own, still he's begging, he'll come on the day of judgment in a state that his face will be full of bones, there will be no flesh on it. It is tremendously forbidden by Islam that a person should beg, except in a state of necessity. A person is, for example, a person is handicapped, is not able to earn, a person is in a dire need and he cannot survive, or his children are in a state of dire need. So in a state of necessity, it is permissible for a person to extend his hand. But in normal course, it is highly prohibited. In Islam, the begging is highly prohibited because it makes a person to be dependent on others and then earning humiliation for his own self. Self-respect in Islam is very important. And through begging, this self-respect is altogether vanished. It is put to an end. There's no self-respect for the beggar. So that's what Sayyid Ibn al-Musayyib says, rahimahullah, that if a person has proper means of income, It will save himself to put his self-respect on risk. It will not push him to the humiliation. Because many a times when a beggar is asking for something, many a people scold them, rebuke them, reprimand them, and they have to face all these scolds and reprimands of the people. They have to face this humiliation on the part of the people. And then keep good relationship with his kinship. One of the best form of sadaqah is to spend it upon those who are in the relationship. There are two rewards. One, maintaining the ties of kinship. Second, helping him out. That's why ulama say that if a person is supposed to spend his zakah, first of all, he must see in his own kinship, in his own relationship. If there is someone who needs it, then it must be given to him, because there are two rewards. One, the reward of the sadaqah, reward of the zakah, and the reward of maintaining the ties of kinship. So if a person is not having anything, then how can he help out others? So a person is supposed to accumulate the wealth through lawful channels. Then and only then he'll be able to help out others. And this helping others, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Wallahu fi auni al-abdi ma kana al-abdu fi auni akhi. Allah helps his servant as long as his servant helps his brother or sister. And when a person spends in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he is blessed and he gets the barakah and the blessings of the supplications of the angels. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, every morning with the sunrise, two angels, they make dua. One angel, it makes dua, Allahumma a'ati munfiqan salafa. Oh Allah, you compensate the one who spent in your path. You grant him more and more barakah. Allahumma a'ati munfiqan salafa. Oh Allah, the one who spent the wealth in your path, you give him abundantly. You compensate him of your own. And then another angel, he makes another dua. It's a bad supplication, bad dua. Allahumma a'ati mumsikan talafa. Oh Allah, you destroy the wealth of a person who did not spend in your path. So when a person spends in the path of Allah, he gets the supplications, the barakah of the supplications of the angels, which a person who is deprived of the wealth cannot have. So these are the advantages of the wealth. When a person is having the wealth, he can achieve the higher stations of the Jannah. He can perform a lot of ibadah. He can help out, he can help many people to be released of the distress, to be released of the anguish, to be released of the untoward situations. He can help them to be relieved of the hardships of life. And this way, he can get the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So worldly life, according to the Quran and Sunnah, is not altogether to be dispraised at all. Rather, there are many advantages of it. And when a person gives zakah, he is contributing towards the upliftment of the depressed class of the society. Zakah is our social responsibility. Being a responsible citizens of the Islamic society, we owe certain responsibilities towards other fellow beings. If they are facing the hardships and Allah has given us the wealth, and we are instrument, we are a means to remove their hardships, what else we need in our life? Once we are able to just provide the food to the hungry stomach, the moment he takes one single morsel, at that point of time, the dua he makes for the person who was able to provide the food to him is, wallahi, I don't think that there is any barrier between the one who makes his dua and the Arsh of Rahman. Once the hungry stomach is being fed, once the person is helped, so how come a person will earn all these rewards when he doesn't have the wealth? So wealth is important, but not our objective in life. It's our need in life, not purpose in life. So we need to just mark a line of demarcation between the two. Wealth is our need in life, not purpose in life. And as far as the wealth is concerned, as I said before, that it has many worldly advantages and it is also disadvantages. We need to know what are the advantages of the wealth, what are the disadvantages of the wealth. All people are aware of its worldly advantages. Do you think that there is any person all over the world who deny the importance of the wealth? All people agree that the worldly wealth is immensely important. Only the sane person may deny. Only the insane person may deny. Any sane person on the planet, any person in his own reason, if you ask him the question, is wealth important? What shall be the answer? Yes, it is important. And most of the people, they don't say only important, they're living for the wealth only. It's a motivation for their living, it's a motivation for their life. So all along the life, they are accumulating the wealth, but at the time of death, there is nothing with them. There's a beautiful story about the crazy minister. There was a very pious minister of a king, and he was very simple and living an austere life, not any life of pomp and show like the ministers do live. So other ministers used to call him as crazy minister. Why? Because king was having a lot of respect for him. Whatever he used to say to the king would adopt it, practice it. He would never take it for granted because he was knowing that he is sincere minister. He's always having the well-being for me. He never has any treacherous designs. He always is doing good for me. And on his part, he is quite simple. He's not living a lavish life. He's not taking wealth from me. He's not misusing his relationship with me. As many people, when they are close to the influential people, they can easily just take advantage of their influence. That's why, because of this thing that he was not misusing his position, the people used to call him crazy because he's just a crazy guy. King is so close to him, but he's not able to get the benefits from him. That's why he's crazy minister. But the king was knowing that he's the only genius one. The king was too much worried about him that he's not taking the wealth, he's not accumulated the wealth. And then there are also rivals in the court. And then he was apprehensive that if he passes away, if he dies, then they will just push him, they kick him out of the palace. And he's not having anything to support him. Many a times king tried his best to give him a lot of wealth, a lot of things, but every time he denied, he said it is of no use to me. But one day, what happened, king he devised a plan that a box full of jewels, pearls, and the precious stones. He called upon this crazy minister and told him that since everybody was calling him now crazy, he himself thought that he's a crazy guy. He told him that you give this box to the person whom he thinks to be most foolish. Then the minister took this box, but it was locked. He didn't see what's inside, but he was thinking, whom I give it? The king has commanded me to give it to the most foolish one. Then he thought, they are all intelligent people, they're all diligent people. I think he's the only guy who's foolish because everybody calls him the crazy. So he took this box to his home. Next day, king asked him, what happened to the box? He said, I have given to the crazy guy. Whom you gave? He said, my respected king, they're all intelligent people. There's only one foolish guy, that's me. So I put it at my house. King was very happy that his plan was successful. After some time, king was very sick. Now he was about to die. And he called upon this minister, the crazy minister, and told him that now I'm leaving this palace. He was so much intelligent, but wanted to just make him realize. He said, okay, you're leaving this palace, so let me prepare all the army for you, so that when you leave this palace, so the army will come along with you. He said, you foolish guy, I'm going to a place where not a single person can come along with me. Okay, at least your wives, so let me prepare all wives so that they can go along with you. He said, oh, crazy guy, I told you that you have to go alone there. Okay, you're supposed to go alone. It means that you need a lot of wealth. So let me prepare all the treasures so that they go along with you. He said, truly, you are the foolish guy. I'm going to the journey, which is too long, where nobody can come along with me. And he said, stay, king. Just a while. He went to his home and brought the box back. And he said, now it's to you. He said, why? He said, because you told me that you should give this to the one who is most foolish, or the most foolish person. You knew that all your army, all your wives, all your wealth, nothing's going to benefit you. But still, you were all together immersed into it. Many a times I gave nasiha to you, but you never paid attention to my nasiha regarding the Akhirah. Yes, regarding the affairs of the kingdom, you accepted all my nasiha, but regarding the Akhirah, it was all just as if you didn't listen to it. So this is true for us as well, that at the time of the death, what we are going to take along, except our kafan and nothing else. So we need to understand what are the advantages and disadvantages of the wealth. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi, subhanakallah wa bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun, wa salamun ala al-mursalin. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.